Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Get Active TV, Rise and Shine. And thank you very much for joining us in today's Power to Zen class. My name is Sam, and along with me today, my guest star is Michaela. And both of us will be leading you through the first half of today's Power to Zen session. And Dawn will be leading you through the second half of today's Power to Zen class. So stay tuned for all the stretches and all the rehab movement that Dawn will be guiding you through. Now, today's first portion of Power to Zen class will be led by me and Michaela. Are you ready for today? Are you ready? Okay. Now, you will need a stick, a chair, as well as a towel. Just like what I mentioned last week, I presume that everyone is sitting down on the chair right now, on your couch, on your bed, or on your sofa. So let's just get started by mobilizing and activating our muscles from the chair, and then we'll get moving and then get a little bit faster and then get into the power portion. All right? So first thing first, are you okay? Okay, so let's take a sit first. Okay, now we're going to practice sitting and standing 10 times. You ready?
Yes.
Can you count together with me? Okay, ready and stand. 1. And down. And up. 2. And down. When you stand, hands up. Up. 3. And down. And up. 4. And down. And up. 5. And down. You got to stand. And up. 6. And down. Sit. And up. 7. And sit. And up. 8. And sit. And up. 9. And sit. And up. 10. And sit. Well done. Okay, so now remember, this is mobilization and activation. You don't have to be very precise and accurate and into the movement. Just move. Allow your body to open up. Allow your body to be ready for today's activity.
Mama is taking care of Titi.
Yes, Mama is taking care of Titi. Okay, now turn around, face me, please. Okay, you're gonna stretch your legs out this time round. We're gonna perform forward bending. From a seated position, this will be a lot more comfortable. So all you need to do is reach forward, bring your fingers to your toes, and then come back up to a stand. And going down 2, touch your toes, and stand. Oh, sit. And down 3, and sit upright. And going down 4, and sit upright. If you can feel the stretch across your hamstring and lower back, that will be fantastic. And sit upright. That's 6 already. You've got 4 more to go. And going down 7, touch your toes. That's right. And up. And going down 8. And up. And going down 9. Quicker.
This one is for you.
And up. Yeah, that's an umbrella. And going down 10. And up. Okay? So next one that we're going to do is a single leg standing. Okay? So go into proper sitting, please. Okay? Now you're going to try. There are 2 options over here, so just watch me. You can either stick your leg out first and then push yourself up to a stand, both feet down, going down to a sit. Okay, again, option number 1. Well done. One leg up first and then bring yourself up to a stand, both feet down, and then go down to a sit. Go back to your chair, please. Okay. Now, option number 2, stand up with both feet, one leg up, and then go down to a sit. Again, both feet standing up, one leg up, and then go down to a sit. Okay, you just alternate both sides. There'll be 5 on each side, so 10 altogether. Okay, let's get started. One leg up first, and stand. 1, and sit. Okay, you're a bit too far. Okay, ready, and up 2, and sit. Right leg up, and stand, and sit. And up 4, and sit. Right leg up, stand, and sit. Okay, continue. Left leg up, stand, and going down, and then sit. Right leg up, stand, put it down, and then sit. Left leg up, show me your left leg. Good. Okay, hands up, give me your hands. Left leg up, and stand. Good job, and sit. Good. Right leg up. Right leg. This is your right. Okay, hands. And stand. And sit. Okay, last 2. Left leg up, stand. And sit. Okay, and one last one, right leg up, stand, and sit. All right, you might find that you're leaning forward a little bit, or you might find that you're losing balance. So have a stick or a towel ready around you whenever you're exercising. Kind of allows you to get some stability in. So like earlier, if you need to stabilize yourself, you can always use the stick. We'll go through a second round shortly, okay? Now, next movement that we're going to go into is a hamstring stretch. You're going to go down into a squat or a bend, holding onto your ankle or your toes, go down to a squat, and then come back up. We have 10 to go. Let's go down and extend your legs, going down. So it's time for you to get out from your chair, and then stand, going down, hold on to your shoe, and stand. Okay, if you have kids around in the house, like what's happening over here right now, okay, don't expect perfection, just go along with the flow. The best way for them to learn is for them to play. Okay, and then extend. We got 4 more to go. Going down to a squat, and then extend. Last 3, going down to a squat, and extend. What do you see underneath? And going down to a squat, and extend. One last one, going down to a squat, and extend. Okay, so first round done. So we'll speed it up a little bit. Again, go back to your chair, get yourself nice and comfortable, get seated. Okay, we're gonna move fast. Are you ready to move fast? Okay, stand. And down. And up 2. And down. And up 3. And down. And up 4. And down. And up 5. And down. And up 6. And down. And up 7. And down. And up 8. Can you come with me? And down. What comes after 8? And up 9. And down. And up 10. And down. Okay. Get yourself comfortable on the chair. Extend your legs forward. Hinge from your hips. Lean forward. You find yourself bending from the back. It is fine. Feel the stretch across your hamstrings. And then pull yourself up to an upright seated position. Forward fold. Inhale, come back up to a stand. And going down 3, forward fold. Reach forward further. And then come back up to a stand. And going down 4. And stand. Are you ready? And going down 5. And sit. And going down 6. Sit down. And up. And going down 7. And up. I got last 3. You want to join me? Leg straight. 8. Touch your toes. And up. And going down, touch your toes. 9. And up. How many toes do you have?
10.
And going down 10. How many?
7.
Yes.
How come there's a sticker slip?
No, it's a ribbon. And sit upright. Okay? So we're going to go back to our single leg push-off practice. Okay? So either straighten your legs out first or have your feet down first. Come back down with a single leg. Alright? Michaela, you want to join me? Okay, sit down. Sit, sit, sit. Sit, sit. Sit. Sit down. Yeah. Leg over. Okay. Alright. Ready? 1 leg step. 1 and then sit down. Switch leg. Stand. 2 and sit down. And up 3 and sit down. Now, let's make it interesting. Hug me tight. And up 4 and then sit down.
Does he want to sit
5.
in my chair?
Okay. Can I finish 5 more?
No.
6 and sit down. And up 7 and sit down. And up 8 and sit down.
I want to sit down.
And up 9. Okay. And sit down. One last one. And up 10.
No.
Okay. And sit down. Okay. So our last movement for today's warm-up and muscle activation. Again, going down to a forward bend, holding on to your ankle, get off your seat, go down to the deepest squat that you can go into, and then come back up to a stand. Okay? Try it with me, Michaela. Alright, going down, squat,
No need to chair.
and stand. Don't need the chair. That's right. Don't need the chair. So you can push the chair away. Going down 3, and stand. And going down 4, squat, and stand. Straighten your legs up.
Are you Zuma?
And going down, squat, and back side up, back side up. Good. and going down. Last 5, and stand. Last 4, and stand. Last 3, and stand. Last 2, are you okay? And stand. One last one, squat, and stand. Okay, so I hope you're more warmed up. Okay, we still need the chair, so stand by for 2 routines. Okay, the first routine or the first power workout for today is beginner friendly, and then second power workout routine is for something a little bit more intermediate. Okay, so just try it, because even during the intermediate portion, I'll be giving you skill options. All right, so now today's beginner routine goes like this. There are 2 rounds altogether, 10 reps each. Okay, 2 rounds altogether, 10 reps each. So we have chair squat to a jump. So from your sitting position,
I want to.
good job. Sitting position, you will jump. Sorry. That's right. Going down a seated position and jump. Okay, the whole idea or the focus is to develop the quads, the hamstring, the glutes, engagement for power push off. Okay? The second movement is a chair lunge.
I want to put them.
Okay, no, you need it there first. Okay? Now for the chair lunge, if you need support, if there is a backrest, use the backrest from the chair. If not, you can hold on to a stick, go down to a lunge, and then come back to a stand. Going down to a lunge,
Daddy,
and then stand. Yes? You want to try that? Come here. Come here. Okay. Now the third movement is a push-up. Now you can do push-ups, right? You can do push-ups, right? Okay, let's go down push-up. Good. All right, chest down. Chest down. Body down. Body is down. Good. Now, and then we're going to push ourselves up. Okay. Now, today's modification is this. You notice that I'm on my knees because I like you to push off as hard and as fast as you can. Going down, push off as hard and as fast as you can. And the last movement, it's a regular sit-up. So you can arm swing it, and we'll do it in a while. Okay? So, ready?
I want to do like this.
Mm-hmm. All right, get ready. All right, I'm going to start. Okay, we got 2 sets of 10. Stand by, ready?
Daddy, can you do like this?
Yes, I can. Okay, ready? We got 10. Okay, hold my hands. Hold my hands, please. Okay, sit. Okay, well, all do it together. We have 10 reps to go. Ready? Going down and stand, jump. Going down, squat and stand. 2. Sit and stand. 3. Going down to a sit and stand. 4. Sit and stand. 5. Sit. Stand. 6. 7.
Daddy, do this.
8.
Daddy, hold it and
9.
then you can jump.
And 10. Okay. Now, next one that we're going to do are lunges. So, share the stick with me. Come here.
I want this one.
Okay, let's go down to a lunge. Okay. Back knee down, remember? We did this. Good. And stand. And going down 2. And stand. And going down 3. And stand. And going down 4. And stand. And Michaela, going down 5. Knee down.
Can you do this one?
And stand. And going down 6. Try to get up fast. And going down 7.
This is glass.
Go up fast. It is not. Going down and up 8. Going down and up 9. And going down and up 10. We switch side. So ready for the other side? I don't actually mean we switch side. I mean just switch the legs. Okay? Can you try it with me, please? No? Okay, fine. Okay, ready? And up 1. And going down. And up 2. Down slow. And up fast. 3. And going down. And up 4. And going down. And up 5. Going down. Make sure it's stable. And up 6. And down. 7. Last 3. And up 8. And going down. And up 9. And going down. And up 10. Okay. All right, next power movement. All right, Michaela, come down. Push-ups. Join me, please. Okay. Okay, hands down on the mat. Michaela, hands down on the mat, please. You want to do push-ups?
No.
Okay. Okay, knees on the ground. If you need a towel, rest your knee on the towel. Going down, rest your chest on the ground. And then from there, push off fast. Resting your knees on the ground, okay? Going down 2, and push off fast. Going down 3, push off fast. Stretch your chest out, and push. Stretch, elbows pointing behind, and push. Going down nice and slow, control, feel the stretch, and then push off fast. Last 4, and push. Going down, okay, hug me tight, and push. Last 2, going down, stretch, and push. Going down one last one, stretch your chest out, and push. You can come down, come down, come down. Okay. Now next one we have sit-ups. Okay, make sure you clear the space. Now because we call it power to Zen, so there's a portion for power and not just strength and endurance conditioning. So you really want some speed work inside it at the same time. Going down. Mika, you want to help me sit down on my leg? Thank you. Okay, so have your hands behind, swing forward. That's 1. And 2. So use your arms to swing forward as hard as you can. Keep your heels down. The arm swing will help you to release possible tension across your neck and your shoulders. So just swing forward. Arms relax, swing back. Allow your shoulder blades to touch the ground. Swing forward and then back down. Last 3. Last 2. And last 1. Okay, so 1 round done. 1 more round to go. Go back to your chair. And if you have the space, like I have the space now. Okay, the chair squat, what challenge? I would like to challenge you to go into a broad jump as well. So from here, up and broad jump, land. Or you can jump vertically up as well. Okay, get ready for 10 and let's go. 1. Soft landing. Even if you're at home without the shoe, it's fine. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. Catch your breath. Focus on power exertion and execution instead of looking for that aerobic kick. Okay, last 2. Sit and jump. And 1 last one. Sit and jump. All right. Now we're going to go back into lunges. Again, the stick is just to stimulate or simulate the backrest of the chair. So we're going to go into the lunge, but this time around we're going to practice backward lunges. So starting from the front, step back, down, and back up. Going down 2, and back up. Again, for speed and power, we want to go touch and go. 1, and 1. 2, and 2. Use your toes to push off and allow your knee to graze the ground. Keep your body upright all the time. Body is always square facing forward. Last 4 on each side. Last 3 on each side. Last 2 on each side. Last One on each side. No. Okay. Now we're going to go back to, thank you. We're going to go back to push-ups. Okay. Sorry. Again, going back down to the knees. It's called a power class. So you need to push off more aggressively if you can. So going down and push. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Remember, you can simply be focusing on keeping your arms straight, pushing off as hard as you can. All right? Now, next movement for sit-up. We're going to do it a little bit more differently, focusing on the tight squeeze at the top. Okay, don't bring foot here. Bring the foot back, please. Bring it back, please. You're going to swing your arms forward, bring your hands to your thighs, slide yourself up, squeeze and hold. Not a sit. Squeeze and hold. So going down, get ready. Arm swing forward, slide your elbows forward, bring it to your knees, hold it there. Okay, it should not be a comfortable sitting position. Okay, and then going back down. Swing forward, squeeze your abs, crunch, and down. Up 3, and down. Up 4, and down. Up 5, and down. Up 6. Notice I'm pretty aggressive with my arm swing. And the whole idea is to allow the body to develop explosive power and speed and strength. Okay, one more time. And out. Okay, so that's kind of like a beginner's power workout. Take a quick break, drink some water. We're going to go into power workout number 2. This is more for intermediate. For any one of you who has been doing some form of training regularly, I'm going to move on into a slightly more challenging sequence. All right? So we're going to go back to push-up, and my usual all-time favorite, we're going to turn our hands around, going to externally rotated sequence, not secret, sequence. Yes, sequence. You're going to turn your hands around, push off as hard as you can. So movement looks like this. Hands goes around. Turn your body, lift your body up, go into a solid plank position, shoulders over your wrist, going down and push out hard. Going down and push up hard. As quickly as you can. That's the first movement for push-up. Next one, we have a plank. Okay, so finishing off on the push-up position earlier, we're going to try to bring our knee to an elbow position and then back to starting point. Knee to elbow position and then back to starting point. So from this perspective, it looks like this in your plank. You're going to raise your knee to touch your elbow and then back, knee to touch your elbow and back. So we want the hamstring stretch, we want that strong kick, we want that rotation and the core strength at the same time, okay? Now, next one is a squat, jump, hip tap. Now notice the hip tap happens in mid-air. So squat, hip tap, squat, hip tap, squat, hip tap. In mid-air, not at the bottom, but at the top. We have 3 rounds, 10 reps each. That's the end of power workout 2, okay? So stand by ready. Okay, go and sit down and eat. Okay, so let's get going. Hands turn around, get ready for 10. Join me. The skill option I'll mention along the way. So hands turn back, get ready, going for 10. Going down, chest to ground, and push your body up. Going down 2, and push your body up. Going down 3, elbows pointing back, and push up. If you need to, knees on the ground, chest down, push your body up. And 5, going down, and push. Another scale down option, raise your chest, then knees off. Knees on, going down, raise your chest, and then push off. Okay? One last rep. And break. Okay? Turn your hands back around, hold your plank position, raise your knee to touch your elbow, and back. That's 2, 3. The trick over here is to make sure that your shoulder is always over your wrist. One more on each side. And done. Okay. Deep squat, jump, mid-air tap. We're going to go for 10. Squat and tap. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gentle tapping on the thighs. Don't hit it too hard. 7, 8, 9, 10. You doing okay, Michaela? Okay. Round number 2. Push-ups. If you're not comfortable turning your hands the other way around, just go back to your regular push-ups. Okay, let's go down and push up 1, up 2, try to join my pace, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, give me an umbrella, okay, no walking around, sit down, okay, go sit down, okay, last 3, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Hold on to your plank position. Get ready for side kicks. Knee to elbow and down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. It does help if you have socks at home. The sliding will be a lot easier. Okay? We're going to go into deep squat, jump, hip tap. Squat, jump, tap. 2, 3, 4, 5. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I hope you're enjoying the versions right now. We have one more round to go. Okay, get ready to push up together with me. Okay, then sit down. Okay. Oh, Michaela, you want to sit on my shoulder? Sit on my back. Okay. Use them while they're around, right? Take a sit. Sit down on my back. Okay, sit on my back. Okay. Hold tight. Hold tight. Why? Because I'm sweaty, is it? Hold tight quickly. Okay, hold tight. Hold tight. Get ready. And up 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Alright, get ready for side kicks. Kick in, kick up, sorry, and down. 2, 3, 4, kick up high. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, last final squat, jump, hip tap. Going down to a squat, stand up, tap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so that's a much faster paced routine for you. Simple basic movement. And you have to follow us. The whole idea about Power to Zen series is to allow us to transform you and progress with you physically and both mentally as well from power to Zen. Alright, let's go down to a quick stretch before I hand over to Dawn. So once again, go down to a sit. Draw your knees onto each side. You're going to hold it there for a good 5 to 10 seconds before you switch over onto the other side. And wipe your sweat off, take a sip of water, hang around. Don will be with you shortly. See you in a bit. Okay.
Hi everyone, I'm Dawn, back here for the second segment of this morning's Power to Zen. So I'll be leading you through a yoga practice, and it's particularly helpful for those of you who suffer from shoulder and back tightness and maybe even pain, which is almost all of us, right? Okay, because of too much sitting and not enough moving, not enough stretching and movements towards the back. So we're going to come into a standing position. I will be giving options, so listen out for them. Option 1 will always be easier, and option 2 will always be slightly more challenging, right? So we're going to come towards the front of your mat. We're going to have your toes spread open. Most of us tend to like to clench our toes, so I like you to just spread them open as much as you possibly can. We're going to start by bending both knees first, right? You can always stay upright standing if you want to, but I'm going to activate the glutes here. I'm going to activate the muscles around the buttocks and the legs. So I'm going to extend both arms towards the front. I'm going to have the right arm under and the left arm over. This is going to help you to release some tension along the upper back and the back shoulders. We're going to bend both elbows once you have the arms in place. And if you can, if your joints allow you to, you're going to try to have your palms come against one another. If that does not work, it's okay. Back of the hands against one another is also fine. If you're okay, hands together, maybe even clench them towards one another. You're going to raise both elbows up towards the ceiling, and at this point you're going to feel already that stretch along that upper back, on the back of your shoulders. And then if you can, option 2 now, we're going to involve the legs as well. This is called eagle pose, right? So we're going to have the knees remaining bent. Your right leg is going to lift up away from the ground. If you need to, you keep your big toe touching the ground. If you can, you're going to wrap your right foot over your left leg. And if you're able to, your joints allow you to, you're going to wrap your foot behind your calf. At the same time, still levitating your elbows towards the ceiling. So here you're working on balance, you're working on stretching, and working a lot of muscles around that left leg, that left hip, while creating a little bit more space between your shoulder blades as well. So do make sure that you are breathing deeply. We're going to hold it here for another 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. And then very slowly bring both feet back down and come back up to a stand. Open your eagle wings. We're going to do the same thing on the other side, right? So go ahead and come back into that chair pose once again. If you'd like to, like I said earlier, just keep both legs straight, right? Arms towards the front once again. This time, left arm under, right arm over, bend both elbows. And if you can, palm to palm. If it doesn't work, it's okay. Just do what your body allows you to, right? Raise your elbows up towards the sky once again. And then, left leg over right this time. If you can, wrap foot behind calf. Now you want to try to get your knees to point more towards the front. I know you can't see, but just feel like you're trying to get your knees to move more towards your left side. Elbows up towards the ceiling, so you really feel that stretch along the back muscles that I want you to feel here. All right, so try to keep your elbows lifting without causing it to affect your breath. We're going to hold it here for another 2, Another one more breath. And then very slowly, uncross the arms, uncross your legs, and come back up to stand. Move those shoulders and notice that there's a slight difference, right? So that is eagle pose for you, great for helping to relieve tightness along the back shoulders and around the upper back area, around the shoulder blades area. Next pose we're going to do, we start at the front of your mat. This is a warrior one, but I'm going to involve some arm movements as well. Hands on the hips, we're going to step your left leg back, a big step if you can, a smaller step if you need to. But notice my back foot. I want to try to get my back toes to turn in a little bit more, and I'm going to bend that front knee, right? Avoid collapsing around the low back here. I want you to keep your baby crunching muscles on, and then we're going to add on your hands here, right? Now, first off, I'd like you to just imagine you're hugging a tree. At this point, you're going to already feel your baby crunching muscles switch on, and that helps you to protect your lower back, right? So you're less likely to arch your lower back and collapse. Now, raise both arms up towards the ceiling. You're going to place your palms towards one another, and then bend your elbows. Use your head to push your hands back a little bit more, and if possible, you try to look up. If you can't, you just look straight ahead instead. All right, so here you're going to feel a lot of muscles around the shoulder area here, starting to stretch. You're opening across the chest as well. Oftentimes, the tightness that we experience around the back or the shoulders comes from too much tension around the chest as well. So this is an important part for us to stretch. Many of you will have difficulty keeping your hands together or raising your elbows up towards the ceiling. Just keep trying. In time, it just gets easier and easier. Change takes time, yeah? So don't rush into it. We're going to hold it here for just one more breath. And then we're going to slowly extend both arms up, hands back on the hips, step forwards, change, other side. So at the same time, we're multitasking, we're working on the legs as well. All right, we're going to step real right leg back. Turn the back toes in once again. You're going to have your big toe point more towards the front of your mat, right? Go ahead and bend that front knee, keeping that back leg straight. You're going to extend both arms up once more. And then hands towards one another. And then bend your elbows. And then you notice that your head tends to want to stick forward. Use your head, push your hands back. And then if you can, option 2, look up towards the ceiling as well. All right, so the hands being behind your head actually prevents you from dropping your head back, which many of us do when we try to look up towards the ceiling. All right, so I'd like you to make sure that you are not switching off your inner weight training belts. Your baby crunching muscles actually are still on. So notice how your lower back feels. Let's hold it here for another 2 breaths. So on your own, really, for each of the poses here, hold it for about 8 to 10 breaths. Extending both arms up, hands onto your hips, and let's step forward to the front of your mat. So that is your warrior one. Stronger muscles around the hips, the pelvic region, and your legs actually does help to support your spine, your back a lot better. All right, next pose we're going in for is a pyramid pose. Great for stretching out the back of your thighs. So we're going to start at the front of your mat once again. Back of the thighs, muscles, hamstrings. When they're too tight, they also affect your lower back. So stretching this muscle can, in a positive way, help your lower back tension. All right, we're going to step your left leg back. Big step. Front leg straight, back leg straight. And avoid locking that front knee. I want you to keep a micro bend if you need to. You will still feel a very good stretch on the back of that leg. Now square your hips towards the front of your mat. We're going to take our hands back behind us this time to interlock at the fingers. Now at this part, you will already feel a stretch to the front shoulders, maybe even a bicep area. So when we come down, I want you to maintain that puffing of your chest as you start to lean forwards. Now keep your spine as straight as you can, so avoid rounding your back or collapsing. The lower you go, the deeper the stretch to the back of your thighs. And if you're okay, take your arms up and overhead. Try to bring your forehead closer towards your knee. Try to bring your stomach closer towards your thigh. I'm trying to press harder onto that big toe as well in front, so I don't let my weight collapse to the outside edge of my foot. So here's a very nice chest stretch for you. I also feel it around the biceps and the front shoulders. Let's stay here for just one more breath. And then very slowly, bend that front knee to push yourself to come back up. And let's step forwards. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So you should feel it on the upper body. You should feel it on the lower body. Yeah. We're going to change legs. Left foot stays in front. Right leg step back. Smaller step, easier. Bigger step, harder. All right, so spread the toes in front. Turn the back toes in, micro bend in that front knee, hands go behind. But this time, can you have the other thumb on top? Right, so don't keep having the right thumb on top or the left thumb on top, depending on which side is dominant. Right, now square your chest more towards the front of your mat. Press your palms against one another. Open chest, long spine as you exhale, keeping that front leg straight, keeping that back leg actively pressing down as well. You're going to try to bring your torso closer towards your thigh. Do it gradually, all right? And then if you're okay, start to bring your arms up and overhead more. Start to bring your chest closer towards your thigh and your forehead towards your knee. Staying out here for another 3, 2. Notice the quality of your breath. You're still pressing your hands against one another. And then very slowly bending that front knee to push yourselves to come back up. Anti-aging also, I just feel the blood just kind of like flow back down to the lower extremities now, right? Shake the legs out, and it should feel really nice, a stretch for the back of the legs. That is your pyramid pose, right? So you notice that from the side, you look like a pyramid too. All right, next one we're going for is your crescent lunge. And this affects your hip flexors, all right? So the muscle that connects from the top of the thigh bone all the way to the low back, and it stays shortened whenever we sit down for too long. And in fact, a lot of lower back pain and lower back problems actually come from too much sitting. It's not too much activities, all right? So do stretch this muscle or do this crescent lunge every day if you can, all right? We're going to have your feet towards the front of the mat to start off with. Now hold that fishbowl of a pelvis. I want you to get used to trying to prevent water from spilling to the front in this fishbowl that's filled to the brim. So while holding onto your hips, step your left leg back on tiptoe. Now option 1, you lower your back knee down towards the ground, and I'm still keeping that fishbowl level. Option 2, you float that back knee up. All right, so again, fishbowl is level. Now we extend both arms up towards the sky. Your option is to just keep your hands onto your hips, and that's fine. All right, just notice how your shoulders feel. Now, if balancing is not an issue for you, you should already feel the stretch at the front of your left hip, by the way. And if balancing is not an issue for you, look up towards the ceiling. Hold it there for another 4, 3. Try not to shrug your shoulders or drop your head back, yeah? One more breath. And then slowly return your gaze forwards, hands on the hips. Let's change sides, shall we? All right, step forwards. Left leg stays, right leg back. Think about that fishbowl. Think about your options. If you need to, knee down. Arms reach up, lower the hips, and if you can, you gaze up. For some of us, we also like to have our hands come together and interlock and reach that index finger up. It really gives a sensation of elongating that torso a bit more. And it really does help to just stretch out the side of the torso around this part here. So imagine you're trying to reach up to the ceiling, trying to touch it, and you're trying to lower your hips down towards the ground. Let's hold it out here for another 2. One more breath. And then hands onto your hips. Let's step forwards to the front of your mat. So it should feel really, really nice for those of you with low back tightness, right? Do that a few times during the day. You don't just have to do it once and stay there for a long time. In fact, it can affect you. It can affect your breathing. Right? So if you find that your breath starts to shorten, stop, rest, come back to it again later, and that's fine. All right. Next up, we're going to go for your triangle pose. Starting at the front of the mat once again, left leg steps back. Bigger step, harder. All right. So we're going to spread the toes open for the right foot. That's the front, right? So we have the toes pointing towards the front of the mat. We're going to have the back foot turn the toes in. Again, keep a micro bend in that front knee, right? So I don't want to lock it. I'm going to keep the muscles that support the knee joint active. From here, I'm going to extend both arms out. I'm going to stretch out both sides of my waist, of my torso by reaching forward. See, I can't reach forwards anymore. Some of you might hear a pop going on around your hip socket. That's fine. It's just air bubbles getting released. Right hand comes down either to the shin, option 1, or the floor outside the foot, option 2. Left arm goes up, and if you can, show me your side profile. All right, so I'd like you to gaze up towards your thumb or the ceiling. Now, if you're losing your balance, you just look down towards the ground instead, and that's perfectly fine. Right? So you should feel that stretch along the inner thigh area, and a bit to the hamstrings as well, the back of your thighs. All right, look up towards the ceiling, and just one more breath here will do. And then go ahead and look down, bend that front knee, and then press to come back up. Let's do the same thing on the other side, all right? So go ahead and turn your right toes in And your left toes out. Extend both arms. Watch that front knee once again. So you don't want to be locking that knee, all right? Keep the muscles surrounding the knee active. Lean towards, well, that's the hip pump. All right, lean towards the left foot. And then left hand comes down or reach the fingers down towards the ground. But you want to avoid letting your chest cave in, all right? So shine your chest in the direction of your inner thigh and look up. So keep the chest open. If you have to, you just place your hand up a little bit higher, all right? Remember, both sides of your waist, you want to keep long. Let's hold it out here for just one more deep breath. So like I mentioned earlier, when you're doing these poses, right, work it for about 8 to 10 breaths. Don't be staying for too short, right? Go ahead, bend your front knee. I'm going to press to come back up to the center. Keep your feet here. I'm going to keep my feet in a wide-legged stance, right? So we're coming for a wide-legged forward fold here. You can either have your hands on your hips and just fold forwards while keeping the knees micro-bent, or you can add in a chest stretch as well. Hands going behind, interlock your fingers, press your hands against one another, and then start to lower yourselves down. Now, the lower you go, the deeper the stretch to the back of your thighs. And with my hands in this position, I'm actually getting a stretch to my chest also. And let's stay here for another 4 more breaths. Notice that I have my toes pointing towards the front. If you need to, you can bend your knees. You may even have your fingers coming down towards the ground to help stabilize you if you need to. All right, let's stay there for another 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. And then very slowly coming back up. Hands on the hips, bend your knees, and then press to come up, let the blood flow back down. Anti-aging again. So if you need an anti-aging facial at home, that's one of them, right? Now let's come towards a seated position right now. We're going to move towards your seated and grounded poses now. So have a towel handy, like what I have right here, for some of the movements that we're going to be doing, right? So I'm going to fold my towel, and it's going to be a cushion for my knee when I come into a low lunge. So for those of you who were not able to balance earlier as you went into your high lunge to get a good enough stretch for your hip flexors, this is your option. Now we're going to start with your knees on the towel first. You're going to step your right foot forwards. You're going to sink your hips down in the direction of your front heel. Spread your toes, lower your hips towards the front. Baby crunch is still on. And then we're going to take your hands behind you. I'm going to add on the stretch, interlocking your fingers. I'm going to press my hands down in the direction of my back knee. And if you're okay, look up towards the ceiling. Keep reaching your knuckles down towards your thigh or your back knee. But be careful not to feel that compression around the lower back. Right? So I feel that stretch across the front of my shoulders. I feel that stretch along my biceps, my chest. 1 more breath here. And obviously to the front of the hips as well. All right, and slowly coming back up. We're going to change other side. Slide your right foot back. Knees on the towel, left foot forwards. Make sure it's a big enough step. If it is too close, it's really not going to serve any purpose at all. So big enough, a step. Spread the toes, sink the hips forwards, baby crunch, hands behind. Other thumb on top this time round. Extend the arms, palms together, lean back. If you can, look up. Reaching your knuckles in the direction of your back knee. Holding it here for another 3, 2. Notice your breathing. 1 more. The moment you hold your breath, you're going to tense up, all right? And very slowly coming back up. Hands on the thigh. Slide the leg back 1 step first, and then both knees coming in. I'm going to move the towel off to the side. We're going to use it again in a short while. Next up, cow face pose, all right? So I'll explain to you why the name is so. We're going to have your right leg under. We're going to have your left leg over. Now, for some of us, this is not possible, having one knee on top of the other. And that is fine, right? You just do whatever you can. So if it kind of looks more like that, it's okay. You start from there. Okay? So if possible, knee over knee. And you notice my feet. If there was a camera on the ceiling right now, there isn't. Okay, but if you were able to see yourself top down, you will notice that there are the 2 legs sticking out here, and your body from an aerial view, it's actually going to look like a cow's head with the horns. And that's how the name of the movement came about, right? So you're going to be stretching the outsides of your hip for whichever leg is on top. You're going to feel that stretch on the outside of the hip. And the more you lean forwards, bringing your chest towards your thigh, the more intense the stretch. So a lot of tightness that people feel along the outsides of the hips because of tight IT bands, if you suffer from sciatica, this is one that you want to do often. But I want to encourage you to have your hips level, right? So don't be doing this from a lopsided hip, right? Position your hips to be more level before you lower your body closer towards your torso, right? And then very slowly coming back up. Same thing, other side. And it may not feel exactly the same on the other side for whatever reason. Remember, we are all quite imbalanced because of habits, because of injuries, because of sports that you play that can create a lot more tension or overuse, or for whatever reason one side is just a lot tighter or one side is a lot weaker than the other, right? Holding it here, making sure that you feel that stretch on the outside of your other hip now, and I'm still keeping both sides of my hips level. And let's stay there for just one more breath, and very slowly coming back up. I'm going to change it over to a position where we're going to sit from the side first, right? So I'm going to show you how this looks like from the side. Just make sure that you have your towel handy, and I'm going to open it up to this position first, right? I'm going to place it right here. Again, I'm going to have my right leg under, my left foot outside, right? So the foot is flat, but if yours isn't flat entirely, that's fine. You just do what you can. Again, my hips are level, right? So foot down. Whichever hand is on the same side, right, as the bottom leg, I'm going to take it behind. Whichever leg is on top, whichever leg is on top, you're going to have your opposite arm coming out, and then the other arm just goes behind to support you, like a second spine, right? So we always twist towards whichever leg is on top, right? Hips are level. So option one, this is as far as you go, right? If you can, you push against that knee with your top arm to try to look back. So this is going to loosen up tension along the spine, right? More on one side than the other. Now, to include the arms as well, the shoulders as well. This is actually one of my favorites, especially since I have shoulder injuries to begin with. I'm actually going to place my towel on top of my bottom thigh this way. Right? And from here, I'm going to reach my hand down to hold onto the towel. Right hand holds onto the towel this way. I take it down, I catch. Other hand, take it behind. I know you can't see, but what I'm doing is I'm holding onto the other end of the towel and I'm pulling, pulling, pulling. So that's how I get this shoulder to decompress. Right? If your hands can't come together to interlock, this is how you work it. Right? So I'm getting a really good stretch around the shoulder joint right now. And it really helps me to feel a lot better, especially if I've been doing a lot of pushing movements. It really helps to relieve all that tension there. And then very slowly release, let go of the towel. And then we're going to twist the other way. All right, so I'm going to show you a different view on the other side now. Left leg under, right leg outside, towel over your thighs. We're going to start with that twist first. All right, so you're going to feel that stretch along your back, more on one side than the other. I'm going to hold under the towel here. Now the other arm goes back, and I'm going to hold the towel. I'm going to pull, pull, pull. So you notice that my hand actually comes out towards the back, right? And that helps me to, once again, decompress this shoulder joint, right? At the same time, still getting that twist. So it affects both areas that I mentioned earlier that we want to work on, the shoulders, the back. But at the same time, your hips as well, right? So in this twist, I'm also feeling a really nice stretch to the right side outer hip in the IT band area. I'm going to let go. I'm going to slide the hands off. I'm going to come back. Now we're going to come into a stretch for the back of the shoulders, and it's also going to affect the outsides of the hips that connects to your low back area. Right? So coming into a pigeon pose, and I have the towel just off to the side. I'm going to start off on all fours first. I'll have my right knee come in towards my right hand, sliding the back leg behind me. Now from here, I'm going to slide my right arm to the left side, like I'm threading a needle. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side as well. This is your crushed wings, pigeon. Right, so like I said earlier, it stretches the area around here. So good for all that tension on the back of the shoulders and your upper back. Right, so you may end up not coming down so low, and that is fine. Right, we're going to hold it here, like I said, 8 to 10 breaths. Because I'm short of time, I'm not going to finish all 8 breaths here. Okay, but it is very beneficial for those of you with a lot of tightness around the shoulders, and of course, if you suffer from sciatica as well. I'm going to slide my hands down to shoulder width apart to push myself back up. I'm going to slide my front leg back, and I'm going to take my left leg forwards. Knee to hand. Left knee, left hand. Slide the right leg back. I'm going to take my left arm to the right side. I'm going to take my right arm to the left side. I'm going to lower the chest down towards the ground. Once again, I'm going to feel that stretch along the back of the shoulders, but it affects one side more than the other, which is why you need to alternate, right? Whichever arm moves off to the side first, right? I'm going to hold it here for just one more breath. And then very slowly, I'm going to slide my hand down to press, slide my hand down to press, and I'm going to slide that left leg back. Right. Now this time I'm going to come into a position where I'm on my back, right? So I'd like you to sweep your legs towards the front of your mat. This is your last pose, right? So we're going to lower it down with your knees up in the air. All right, so I'm going to have your legs moving off to one side, okay? But we're going to take your right leg over. So arms are out to the sides first, right leg over as you lower both legs off to the side. So you're going to feel the stretch now towards the front of your right shoulder as well as your chest. Now, if this is a bit too intense for you, you can always have your legs move down. This takes away the intensity of the stretch to the lower back, but it becomes more intense if you can bring the legs up a little bit higher and maybe even have your top leg come reach towards your left hand. Right foot, left hand. Gaze towards your right hand that's on the ground on the opposite side, and this will actually give you that rotation, that twist around the neck as well. We're going to come back towards the center. I'm going to switch it over to the other side. All right, so left, a little bit higher. I'm going to twist over and land the legs down towards the ground. Notice that this arm just kind of like floats off the ground. It's okay. Let it dangle if it wants to. But if it stays down towards the ground, great. Right? Again, options. So if you can straighten that top leg and let it get caught by your other hand, do so. Eyes look towards your left hand this time. And just breathe to help facilitate the muscles to relax. Right? I'm going to slowly come back towards the center this time round. So remember, you stay on your own for about 8 to 10 breaths. I'm going to place my hands behind my thighs and roll myself to come up. So I'm going to finish off this morning's practice with a cooling breath. I know it's quite cold this morning already, but as the day goes along and temperatures rise, this is a breathing method that you can use, not just to cool yourself down. It's called the cooling breath. But it actually helps you to slow down your breathing as well, which can have a very calming effect, right? So how we're going to do this is seated tall. You're going to inhale through the mouth, and you're going to exhale through your nose. It's going to look and sound like. So we form a straw with our tongue. And as the air passes through your funnel of a tongue, it's going to cool the air before it enters your body. And that's how the cooling effect works, right? We're going to do that together, just 2 rounds, right? So form a straw with your tongue and exhale. You can do that one more time. Inhale, exhale. I'm sorry for those of you who just, for genetic reasons, you can't do that. So not everybody can, but the majority of us can do it, right? So if you're able to, that's a very convenient way to cool your body temperature down and to just slow down your breathing as well. And with that, I'd like to thank all of you for joining me and Sam this morning for Power to Zen. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon. Have a great day ahead.